Thanks to the support as a channel member, Nathan Rowley. Yeah, things are a little tighter than I'd hoped they'd be after that first leg against Bayern. I mean, I think we should still be okay, but you know me, I'll probably do something silly with the team. Okay, I'll behave. Hello and welcome to part 177 of Homegrown. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have the second leg of our Champions League first knockout round game against Bayern Munich. And we're also playing Bournemouth in the Premier League. Nice, easy Premier League game. I'll tell you what we could do with one as well, because Manchester City are a pain in my trousers. Only 7 games of the season remaining. They're 3 points behind us with a better goal difference. Remember when we had this league all wrapped up? I don't really understand how it's got this close. We've still only lost 1 game all season. Obviously just drawing a few too many for comfort, and realistically those draws have all come fairly recently as well. We drew the 2 games leading into the first leg against Bayern, against Stoke and Villa, picking up a draw at home against Arsenal as well. We've got to start winning football matches again. Luckily we did against Blackburn. We comfortably beat them, and fingers crossed we'll do the same thing against Bournemouth. 5 home games in a row in all competitions. It's an expensive month for the people of home, isn't it? But let's get stuck into Bayern Munich before we worry about what's going on in the Premier League. Because, of course, we've won the Premier League the last couple of years. We know we're the best team in England, no matter what the league table says at the end of the year, unless we're top of it, in which case the league table never lies. But we've got to win the Champions League. We got to the final last year. We've had a very, very tough draw in the first knockout round this time around. And fingers crossed it isn't going to cause us lots and lots of problems. I mean, we are still missing some key players. Park and Juan Jose, arguably our 2 biggest creative forces. And Sandro Veloso, at the moment, I've not got him on the bench. We probably need to put Veloso on the bench, don't we? We don't need Madness and Jordan on the bench. Veloso can come onto the bench. It disturbs me having the bench in the wrong order. Has to go goalkeeper, defender, midfielder, striker, defender, midfielder, striker. That's how you do a bench. So Cassidy, now officially on the bench as a midfielder, has to swap with Veloso. Although Veloso, I guess, as a winger, could have been the midfielder as well. It probably would have been okay either way. But the team we're going with is Perez in goal, a back four of Kovacic, Hanna, Abagai and Vinicius Antonio. Perez and McKenna in midfield are finally a fully fit McKenna. Hopefully he's going to be a bit of a difference maker and start to improve his form. A 6.66 in his last 5 games, but he has been injured for all 5 of them. So hopefully today is the return to form of David McKenna, who's actually had a pretty poor season so far, an injury-hit season where he's certainly working below his best work, but Norwich and Real Madrid are still interested in him. But Ian and Figueira out wide, and then Jovanovic and Daly up front. Let's go score all the goals. I mean, we played pretty well in the first leg. If you remember the first leg from last episode, although it finished 1-1, we absolutely dominated Bayern for possession, for chances created, for XG. It was very much a case of we should have won, and Bayern very much got away with a draw in their home leg. Clearly, the music, I don't know if you heard the really loud music that just drove past. It was really loud. That was strange. The perils of recording with an open window still. Perez, though, with the goal kick, playing it forward to Jovanovic, using all of his height to flick it onto Ian, and Ian is in, and it's a decent effort from Ian, but the Bayern goalkeeper is equal to it. First big chance of the game, though, and it's come early. This is promising. We look like we're up for it again this evening. McKenna, like I said, looking for a performance from him, and he's hit the outside of the post with his first chance of the game. He looks like he's up for it as well. He's the kind of player we need to step up and really lead us into the quarterfinals of the Champions League today. I still have in my head, I have him earmarked as our future captain. He's probably ready to take that role on as soon as Ian is dispossessed in the team. And I don't know how Daly has snuck that one under the goalkeeper, but he has, and it's a 25th goal of the season for Adrian Daly. The match commentary is saying all credit needs to go to the assist. There's not really much of an assist. Ian, I think it is, who plays it forward to him. It's not, I mean, the pass is fine, but the shot is pretty tame. The first touch from Daly to take it away from the defender is lovely. That's where the real quality is here. It's a decent pass, but this first touch is beautiful. Watch how he takes it away from both of those players, and then does get himself room to get the shot in. But it's, like I say, it's a really tame shot. I think he's more than anything caught the keeper off guard, probably a bit unsighted by the 2 defenders between him and the goal. And I mean, I'm not going to complain. We're 1-0 up inside the first couple of minutes of the game. Perez then to Abagai. and he's going to play it across to Hannah, who's keeping control of the ball nice and comfortably here. Perez dropping back and making the defence a back three momentarily. Hannah playing it forward to Kovacic, who's got space and players to aim at. And the first one he aims at is Ian, and Ian has won a corner. Ian has looked very lively today. I think I've talked of replacing him, and he's decided, right, replace me, will you? I'm going to show you. Hannah's there, and his header goes just over from the corner. A second goal this early, and I think we're pretty much booking our spot in the quarterfinal. Like I said, we dominated the first leg. We've got this early lead now, and as Hannah hit the crossbar this time, he's getting closer and closer to doubling the advantage for us. Ian trying to play Figueira in, and Figueira very nearly got there. We just ran out of pitch, which, I mean, we want a new stadium. When we get one, we need a slightly longer pitch. I think that was evidence of it there. Bayern can't get hold of the ball, though. They've just played a goal kick, and it's just one straight back by Vinicius Antonio. Ends up back with their goalkeeper again. And once again, we're putting them under huge pressure as soon as the ball leaves the goalkeeper, and Kovacic wins the ball back. And now Ian, deepest we've seen him all day, but you know he can go on his mazy runs and just surge forward, and he is continuing to surge. He's now into the penalty area, plays it into Vinicius Antonio, who crosses, looking for Jovanovic, but can't find him, but Perez is there for the follow-up, and Vinicius Antonio again, back to Perez. This is nice, patient build-up play, waiting for the right opportunity, and that was it. And that is a big miss from Jovanovic. If we end up somehow not making it through, you have to look at a chance like that. Jovanovic basically had he was unmarked in the area, and he's ballooned it over the crossbar. Doesn't even test the goalkeeper. But Daly's in here. This is a good position for Daly to get into, but the keeper once again making the save. Their keeper's played pretty well so far, apart from that one, I guess you'd have to call it an error, where the first goal kind of snuck under him a little bit. The ball's bobbling around in the area, though. That bounced twice inside the 6-yard box. And again, there's nobody there just to stab it home. It's a difficult one for me, because Daly, when you compare him to Veloso, everything about him looks like he should be as good and will end up better. And he's scoring loads of goals. But you see that, then you see something like that happen and think, there's not a chance that ball bobbles twice in the area like that with Sandro Veloso on the pitch and ends up anywhere other than the back of the net. You just feel like that's the sort of thing that he's always going to score from. And I don't even know if Daly was anywhere near it. And I think Veloso just has that hidden quality that I don't even know what it would be. I wouldn't know where to find it if I had the editor on. Jovanovic has just scored, though, once again using his large stature to make it 2-0 on the night, 3-1 on aggregate. It's been a very similar story to the first leg. We've absolutely dominated Bayern. They don't seem to be showing any kind of attacking ambition at all. But they had a free kick there and could have very easily stuck that in at that near post, because Perez didn't really seem like he was prepared to dive that way. I guess he was confident he'd positioned his wall correctly. And the fact that the shot went wide after going round the wall suggests he was probably right. But I'd still rather in future he has a little bit of a dive, just for my sake. Even if he knows he's not going to get there, even if he knows the wall is perfect, just for my sake, have a little bit of a dive, just so I think it looks like you're trying to stop them scoring a goal. Right, Veloso has just come on for Figueira. I don't have any objections to substitutions like that going on. Jovanovic is going to come off. I'm actually going to bring Cassidy on rather than Marcelo. I think I'm losing patience with Marcelo as a striker. I don't mind him out wide, but as that deep lying forward, he's had a lot of chances this year and has not impressed me. Whereas I do really like the idea of having two academy boys up front in the Champions League against Bayern Munich with another academy boy, and two in the defence. In fact, we've got Hannah and Kovacic in the defence, Daly and Cassidy up front. We're up to 4 academy boys again. Early on in the series, I would always speculate if we'd ever get to the point where we could have a full 11 of academy boys. And then we hit the Premier League, and we've probably had a 10-year period where we've been waiting for the academy to catch up, and we've not really had a huge number of them through. We had that golden generation with Kieran Hodgkinson and Harrison Davies and Nathan Curry and Alex Williams, and then it's been a long wait. But I think we've got another golden generation here, all very similar age. Kovacic, Hannah, Cassidy, Daly. There's probably more. I'm trying to think of any more off the top of my head, but we have a nice little group of very good young players that have come through this academy again. And I really like the idea of winning the Champions League with a whole load of our academy boys in the team. It's one of the reasons why I consistently favour Daly over Veloso, why I'm going to favour Hannah over Elias, even if they're not quite as good as the players they're competing with at the moment. They're our academy boys. You've got to love them. It's the law. But we've won this one very comfortably. Bayern I don't know what's got into them, but they did not look up for it in either leg of this tie. We've been very, very good. That books us a spot in the quarter-final, which we are going to get the draw off before the Bournemouth game. So we'll get to see who we're facing in the next round, which is splendid. And then we'll play against Bournemouth in the Premier League and hopefully score a big pile of goals. Right, Champions League quarter-final and semi-final draws. Then teams left in the competition. It's Athletic Bilbao, Hertha, Juventus, Manchester City, Barcelona, us, Liverpool and Real Madrid. As you would expect with the Champions League, if we're going to win it, it's going to be tough. The encouraging thing for me, only 3 English teams left in it. Hopefully we can have them knock each other out. I'm confident of beating anyone who's not English. The English teams are the ones that are our problem. And it's weird that we keep winning the Premier League, but struggling in Europe against English teams. So if we can avoid them, that'd be lovely. That being said, Barcelona are probably quite good too. Right. Fingers crossed. Barcelona take care of Manchester City. Liverpool don't worry me at all. We'll take Liverpool now. Real Madrid are going to deal with Liverpool. Juventus, I don't think there's anyone else we're afraid of. We'll have any of these. Athletic Bilbao, you got to believe, based on reputation at least, the easiest, the smallest team of that group, you would think. They've not ever finished higher than 4th in the entire save in La Liga. So they've obviously just had a nice little route through, and we should be able to deal with them relatively comfortably. That being said, they knocked out Manchester United. But we know Manchester United are a shell of their former selves, and they're just falling apart. I don't know if they've sacked their manager yet or they're about to. In fact, they sacked the manager. They sacked the manager last year. Did he retire? So the manager left to go to Barcelona, and the new guy is useless, is what we've learned here. And he's getting sacked this season, you would think. They're 5th in the Premier League. They've been knocked out of the Champions League early. Yeah, if they don't get back in the Champions League, he's gone. I'd sack him anyway. Manchester United had been so good for so long, and he's ruined them in 237 days. But I'm pretty comfortable. We can take care of Athletic Bilbao. We'll do the semi-final draw as well. So Barcelona or Manchester City will face us or Athletic Bilbao, and then Juventus or Hertha versus Liverpool or Real Madrid. So, what we don't want is to face Manchester City in the semi-final, because they'll probably beat us. That being said, Barcelona are top of La Liga, and they've got the guy who just left Manchester United, who we know is a good manager, and they've been dominating La Liga for most of the last 20 years. So that's pretty tough. Assuming we get past Bilbao, City or Barcelona is tough. Surely we're not going to do another season of this save. We're never going to win the Champions League. Would like it on record that I'm completely comfortable with doing another year. I'm loving it, and love the fact that we're getting the youngsters come through. So another year to get more of these youngsters into the team is fine by me. But this is the team that we're going to be putting out there for the Bournemouth game. And we made a few changes. We're not doing anything super crazy, but we're making a few changes just to try and keep things fresh. Primus is coming in at right back. We're going with Much and Cassidy together in midfield. Park is getting a run out, his first run out since injury, on the right-hand side of midfield. Won't play the full game, but we'll get him out there for a bit. Jordan's going to get another start on the left, and then we're sticking with Daly and Jovanovic up front. Juan Jose, who was just recovering from injury, has picked up another injury in his comeback game, playing for the under-18s against the youth candidates. He's twisted his ankle and is out for another month. So Jovanovic getting an extended run, playing as the deep-lying forward to see if he's the long-term solution. He's not doing too badly so far, is he? So Juan Jose needs to get himself fit and quick. Claver, of course, still injured and is likely to miss the rest of the season, as we already knew, and McKenna misses this one through suspension. So his return from injury continues to be very stop-start, because he actually played a full game for the first time in ages against Bayern, and now has to sit this one out completely because he's a meathead thug who I think he got himself sent off in the Blackburn game, if I recall. Jovanovic then to Kovacic, and Daly is in, and Daly scores 26 of the season for Adrian Daly. And he has been the story of the season. I know we've brought several young players through this year. Cassidy, of course, starting in midfield today as well. But, I mean, Adrian Daly, very much the headline. I haven't had a academy striker come through and make this much of an impact. And here's one for the long-time followers. I've not had an academy player come through and make this much of an impact as a striker in their first season since Liam Wells at Tottenham. And I think FM16's non-league to legend. It might have been FM17. It was a long, long time ago. And he was brilliant. And I'm definitely feeling vibes of him from Adrian Daly. And Jovanovic has just scored again. I tell you what, he's offering more of a goal threat from this position than Juan Jose does. Certainly a better finisher. Certainly a more physical player, which is, it kind of suits what we're looking for. Alongside Daly as the little quick guy, having the big strong guy, he's great. He's not quite the creative force that Juan Jose is, but I think there's probably, I mean, I'm talking about which one's going to be the one that we use. I think it's pretty clear at this point there's room in the squad for them both. It's nice to have both options, to have Daly and Veloso as free scoring strikers, and then two different options for the partners for him, with your creator in Juan Jose and your big monster in Jovanovic. I think that's a very good 4 strikers for you to have a choice from. Daly makes it number 27. We just have to try and keep them all happy. I mean, this year, obviously, Daly is getting a lot of football. Next year, I think if we are serious about keeping Veloso around long term, we probably need to rotate Daly and Veloso a little bit more and give them both roughly half the games. Give Jovanovic and Juan Jose roughly half the games. And it just means that the likes of Marcelo, I mean, he's really, really not going to be a striker. Cassidy's probably not going to play a lot of games as a striker. They're going to have to force their way into the teams in other areas. And who knows who the next striker to come through is. There's bound to be one. Right, Much. Playing it forward to Park. Park, we're probably going to take off at half-time. We're already 3-0 up after 15 minutes. We don't need to stress Park any more than is necessary. Just get some match time into him. We've withdrawn him from the South Korea squad for the international break that's about to happen. So he's not going to be going away for international football. So he's going to get like 10, 12 days off after this game. So I think a 45-minute run out and then 10 days just sat around playing FIFA on his PlayStation 9 or whatever it will be in 2042. Is that the year? What, PS9? Would that be right? PS10? Something like that. Playing FIFA 43. It's no different from FIFA 21. Still just a squad update. Oh, what did Kev do? What a rascal. What a rascal. Right. We are 6 points clear at the top of the league at the moment. Manchester City sat there with a game in hand. Were we that far ahead before, though, or are they dropping points? I thought we were 3 points ahead and they had a game in hand, but that doesn't feel right. I think I would have been more afraid of them. So chances are the situation hasn't changed at the top of the table and we're both just still winning. But I do feel like this is 6 point gap is a 6 point gap. I've said it a gazillion times. I'd rather have the points on the board than the games in hand because you're guaranteed the points on the board. They could go and drop points in their game in hand, and we're looking at it as if, we're only 3 points ahead if they win their game in hand. Well, we could be 6 points ahead, which is what we are. Right, Primus can't get past his man. He's supposedly either-footed and natural on both sides, but I don't know how you lot feel about it when you watch him play. He's a much better left-back than right-back, and I don't know what it is. I just feel like he's a left-back. He just plays better over there. I don't know if it's maybe the difference in the instruction. As a right back, he's got an attack instruction, whereas at left back, he has a support instruction. It might be that. Maybe it's nothing to do with the side of the pitch he's playing on. Maybe he prefers to be able to play a little bit deeper. But whatever it is, he just feels like a left back to me. Right, we're going to bring Marcelo on, give him 45 minutes. Park can start his holiday now. Go grab yourself a shower and head off to the seaside, wherever you're going, Park. That's you done. You're done until Athletic Bilbao now, really. Go and have a little rest. You've done your job today. We now believe you are fit enough to continue in the team. Right, we'll make a couple more substitutions as well. We're going to take off Jordan and bring on Madness. That one was one that was kind of in my head pre-match as well. And I guess we will bring on Perez for Much to play in midfield. I was tempted to bring on Pedro Guerrero to play right back, but I've been looking at Guerrero, and I think I've been trying to force him for. Oh, that's a problem. I've been trying to force him for a long time. That's not Guerrero. That's Primus. But Pedro Guerrero is 22 now. Only has 3-star potential. We paid £34 million for him. I don't think he's going to make it. But this is a problem. This could be the glorious return for Sandro Veloso. Finish off the season for us as our main man. Because if Daly's injured, serves me right for playing him too much. He's started pretty much every game since he came into the squad. Just because I wanted him to score a lot of goals, and he didn't start the season at the beginning, did he? I mean, I guess he kind of did. Why has he only scored 25 goals? That he's scoring a goal a game. He can't have started every game. I just feel like he does. But hopefully he's not too badly injured. We'll check in on his injury after the game. Like I say, he's got the international break now. We've put him on a 45-minute instruction with Australia for the first time. Their man who's scored like 30 goals in 30 caps for them is never going to play a full 90 minutes in a friendly again because he now plays regularly for us. But we might have to change Veloso's instructions because we've sent Veloso away with he can play as much as you want for the first time since he was 18. He's always been on a 45-minute instruction. We don't want him playing 2 lots of full 90 minutes for Portugal and coming back injured. So I don't think there's any way to change that now, which is, again, things like that. These are the things that I'd like to, it's just little quality of life things I want to see change for FM22. I'd like to be able to change that now, even though the moment has already passed. I'd like to be able to ring him up on match day, say, actually, you know what? You can give him an hour if you want. It's fine. A little bit more flexibility. I don't think in real life there is a hard and fast, as soon as a squad is announced, you send back a fax that says he could only have 45 minutes and then you're tied to it. I don't think that's a thing. Right. Daly has, that's him out for a long time. I mean, that's at this stage of the season, it's a long time. That takes us through probably the semi-finals of the Champions League, which we have now requalified for again and been given a massive, but a £4.4 million wage budget. I mean, that's a stupid amount of money. We don't need all that, but we've got so much money in the bank. But Veloso is likely to be back in. I mean, he's definitely back in for Bilbao if he's fit. And then, I mean, it takes us most of the way through the season. We're not going to see much more of Adrian Daly this year, I don't think. Sadness. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for daily Football Manager videos. And thank you very much for watching.